Hey y'all, it's the Calm Corner Show. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Now let's get into it. Hey Soul Family, back again. I'm Erika, your favorite Astro homegirl. And this one, guys, is going to be on Miss Nikki Minaj, aka I think they calling her Maga Minaj, okay? So we are going to do an update on her, the current energy around her. And let's see what's really going on with Miss Minaj right now, Miss Onika, okay? So first, I just want to say welcome back to all of you guys who've been riding with me. And welcome to all of you guys who are new here. And for my newbies, I always get into a little bit of the astrology first before we get down to business and get on into the tarot reading and the cards. Because it really just helps me better understand, the aspects of a person and some of their energy. When we get down to business, I'm able to see a lot clearer. So let's get into it, okay? So, it's really a lot to cover, but we're going to get into Nikki Minaj and this Erika Kirk thing. So, I'm going to cover Erika Kirk, too, in this reading. But I just want to say, I'm going to do a separate one with her and Candace Owens, okay? But we're going to tap into her energy, and also we're going to, get down to asking questions about Nikki, just current energy with her. We're going to get it down into energy with what the hell is going on with this. We're going to ask a whole lot of questions. So go get y'all a little cocktail and a drink of what works, and let's, ride with me. Let's get down this rabbit hole, because I'm going to even find some clips and pull them up for you guys too. But I won't drag those out long. I just like to, give you guys visuals before we actually get into the cards, okay? So I pulled up, and what's interesting, Miss Kirk, honey, she is something else, honey. She is making her rounds around town, okay? So they finally put a chart up. I'm sorry, my nose itching, so we know we finna get some messages. What I was saying about Miss Erika is they didn't have a chart for her, but now I found one today. So that just kind of tickled me a little bit. I said, okay, so, honey, she's a character. So let's talk about Nikki right now. Miss Onika Minaj, okay? Yep, Nikki Minaj. And her Onika Tanya Mirage, December 8th, okay? So happy belated birthday to you, Miss Nikki. Happy solar return, Sagittarius sun, and you guys know her as Queen Nikki, okay? Now, sun is in Sag in its house of home, and she has look like a stellium there, actually, because when you have 4 or more placements, and she got quite a few placements in its house of home. So let's unpack real quick, and then we're going to tap into the current transits and see what is causing all this around her and her ideas. So first, I just want to say sun is in Sag, her moon is in Virgo. Okay, and it's in his house of home. We're going to talk about that. But I want to see what's all in this Sag conglomerate. So, Mercury, how she communicates. That's why it can be a little rough. Ooh, her Venus is there as well. Oh, wow. And Uranus and Neptune. Oh, wow. Well, Neptune is the industry. Sagittarius is all about philosophy, travel, beliefs, your belief system, expansion. It's a lot that goes in that house of that Sagittarius. And it's interesting, her Jupiter is in Scorpio. Oh, wow. And so that explains her financial house resources and how she's able to amass in that Jupiter placement. Because, that Scorpio, traditional ruler Mars, but Pluto is well ruled by that. And I always say, so transformations, but with Jupiter there, it expands her resources. And it can come from places that are a little darker than most. And I think she's, reached her threshold at this point a lot of people are disappointed, and then you probably got a lot of people who, we gonna pull the cards and see, we gonna get some messages, because my nose keep itching. I'm not digging. It's funny. It happens every time. It's like, wow. So that's really interesting. Let's see what that Saturn is. Oh, so it's kind of like a super transformation vibe, because it's Jupiter there, blessings to bring power, but Saturn is the challenges, and that's in other people's resources too. So it's interesting. It's an up-down thing. What's in that Libra house? No, it says Pluto is, oh, that's different. So challenges in relationships for sure. That's a fact. Transformations in them as well. Well, Nikki, the Virgo moon, it definitely puts the detail, I say like it refines it adds even more communication and more intellect to the Sagittarius sun, right, guys? But this is the thing. I understand now if we go into the transits and look and see why this is happening. Because right now, sun is in Capricorn, right? So Capricorn, original ruler Saturn, challenges. Capricorn and Saturn is about old structures, right? Traditional. And she's a Sagittarius sun, so she is breaking up that cycle of what we are used to seeing her as. Remember, we closing out this 9-year, guys, okay? So 9s are all about completion, endings that start into a new chapter, a new cycle, new beginnings. The moon is also in Capricorn as well. So all of these things are on the forefront. Government is old structures, right? The president, karma, hell, Father Time, Chronos, all of those things fall into that Saturn and Capricorn energy. And she's dealing with Erika Kirk, which is already a challenge within itself, because she is a handful and definitely have rubbed quite a few people the wrong way. And a lot of people have their questions and their eyebrows up about her intentions and how she's moving. And this is the Erika Kirk lady that is now the widow of Charlie Kirk, who was, I guess you could go ahead and say, assassinated, some months back. It ain't even been that long, and she already on the move and on the rise. Okay, so I hope y'all are paying attention to that. Now, the Venus and her Mercury is in Sagittarius, and that makes a lot of sense right now, Miss Nikki, because Mercury is about communication, and we are on a global front in a Sagittarius sun, where Sagittarius is all about beliefs, her philosophy. So she's ending this chapter of whatever she used to be, and she's into this new Maga energy, or, and it's, her fans, a lot of her fans are upset, but we're going to see how that kind of chapter going to happen for her, because it looks like she's going to move into a cycle of new fans, we'll see. We ain't getting into the cards yet, but Jupiter is in Cancer, expansion, and, I'm sorry, I saw it in my cards, another baby for her, so I don't know, but it can happen, guys, especially with Jupiter being in Cancer. Saturn is in Pisces, the industry, and look, who's to say people are really questioning her career now based on her fans, so the transits align. Uranus and Taurus, this is definitely, about resources and money. And people are wondering, is this going to affect her resources? She's clearly experiencing some energy with that as well. Even if it's something that, it could be small, but it's just a house situation she had. Certain things she, like she said, Rock Nation owe her. So she is dealing with a lot of different little things that surround money, okay? Pluto in Aquarius, the end of an era, you know, heading on into this new cycle that she's on. So this lines up in the energy. And Chiron is in Aries. And Aries about identity and how you show up. And everybody is like, what the hell, Nikki? What is going on how she's showing up? So that's why I love to do this, okay? Because it does, you know, astrology, it all connects, you know, and this is the energy she's in. And she is pressing the, you know, going against the grain. Sagittarius, you know, that's what they will do, you know. Erika Kirk, I do know from what because I've done a class and they kind of pulled up her chart, what, you know, one of the classes that I took. But she's a Scorpio sun, okay, November 20th. So her birthday, you know, not too long ago just passed as well. But what I do remember is that, let me see what Nikki had in her Virgo house. What was that placement, guys? Because that's your day-to-day and daily routine. And I just want to see. The moon. And look, all type of stuff coming out right now in regards to, you know, all of this stuff that she got going on. Dealing with Maga and Trump and Nikki Minaj and JD Vance, okay? So, Erika Kirk right here says her sun is, of course, in Scorpio. And, oh, wow, it's in its house of its home. She has a few placements there. Let's see. I wonder why it has it where I like to see it broke down. Her moon is in Aries. That's interesting in her identity and how she shows up. And that makes a lot of sense, child, because she show up in, you know, in an energy that is people just like, ooh, and it looked like she also has Mars there. So even how she takes action is how she shows up, whether it could be offensive and aggressive. Remember, Mars is action, you know, she be ready to, you know, what do you call that? She ready to go to war about whatever she believe in. She gonna stand on it. Even in, you can just see it in her placement, right? So her Mercury is in, So her Mercury is also in her house, in that 8th house. Let's see what else is in that 8th house. Ooh, Pluto and Venus. That's interesting. So let's see what that Jupiter is. She also has Saturn. Let me see. It's a different way to look at the chart. So I'm sorry, y'all. Just bear with me. I'm just trying to figure out this lady, because this lady is something else, okay? She is a handful, baby. The way she put her hand behind that lady husband, what's the vice president name? I was like, say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. And girl, your husband ain't even been in the ground 5 minutes, honey. My goodness. And her taking this initiative to be more into politics. It's like they playing in our face, y'all. I'm telling you. They setting us up for the new cycle. We gonna see, we gonna look up and it's gonna shift. And we gonna be like, wow. But they showing you a prequel of what's ahead by her doing all that. I'm telling you, it's messages behind it. We gonna get into her chart. I mean, her. We gonna do a separate reading on her, but we definitely gonna pull in her energy right now because of the current. You know, Nikki. I think she sat down with her or whatnot. I'll figure it all out. You know. So that's interesting. Her Chiron. Let's see. I don't see it on this chart. That's what I'm saying. This is different. Let me see if I can see something else that I can better see. from her. I'm sorry, y'all. Bear with me. I just need it because she is something, ain't she? Okay, so this may be better. I might be able to see it better from this aspect. And I think we can. Yep. It says, let me see if it'll go down and break it down. Okay, it does. Okay, so perfect. So Sun in Scorpio at 28 degrees. Okay. So, ooh, she got a, remember I was saying, so she got an Aries moon. And child, her Mercury is in Scorpio. She ain't nobody friend but her own self, okay? Her Venus is in Libra, all right? And that is interesting. Let's see what that placement is. So her moon was in Aries. And let me see. So her Uranus is in Sag. Her Neptune is in Capricorn. Industry, career house. Ooh, and her Pluto is in Scorpio. So she has a powerhouse, 8th house placements there, which is why you gonna see her go through these transformations, loss of husband, right? But continuing to rise through other people's resources, right? Because that's what 8th house is all about. Those dark subjects we don't want to tap into. Her husband, was a part of, what, I guess, agenda he was pushing, and his beliefs were dark in a sense to other, other people, to other parties, other races. So you have, she a mess, y'all. She a real handful. And we about to see her really, really turn up more and more and more now that I'm looking at the placements in her chart, right? That's really interesting. So she really kind of here to be controversial, one of those type of characters, as well as somebody who gonna come in, offend, and shake the table. So that's interesting. So let's get into the reading and let's pull up some clips. So sure enough, I'm gonna go do pull up some clips, guys, and add them in, and then we're gonna get down to business and get into the cards, okay? I'm glad y'all here and hope you guys are having a happy holiday. This is my Christmas countdown of celebrity reads, and I did make a decision to do your one by ones, and it's gonna be a lot packed in. Information from the moon over the weekend, as well as winter solstice energy. But we're going to talk about what this energy means. And for all personal zodiac signs, I'm going to talk about that as y'all close this year off of this 9. So, that's going to be the energy of, for you guys. So that'll be the first one. And you'll start to see those tomorrow. And, I'm going to just keep posting for you guys through the holidays. So hope you guys are really, really enjoying your family, friends, and if not, mostly enjoying yourself, okay? So let's get into it. Okay, so family, before we get into the reading, shout out to @DJ Academics and shout out to Forbes Magazine. I pulled clips so you guys can, just hear the energy that's in the atmosphere right now. A lot of people are disappointed. Everybody feels a lot of different ways. Nikki has definitely set the internet on fire. I wanted you to see this visual. I want you guys to look at the energy of these women and make sure you sound off in the comments and let me know how you really feel and do you feel like this is authentic, okay? So here are the...
Tristan, yo, they're up in arms right now. They're giving Nikki Minaj hell. Nikki Minaj looked like she is MAGA. Now, a lot of people took note that Nikki Minaj showed up to Turning Point USA, which is Charlie Kirk's organization, with his widowed wife, And they showed up and walked out like this. You know what's so funny? In the last couple of years, Nicki Minaj has come across to, I think, a lot of us in the culture as so nasty. And like when we hear her say, like address people, she's like really talking so vile that we forget that like part of the reason her brand was so huge and so great is that she was on this like I'm a Barbie, whatever, and she had songs that were kind of like building the brand of that. And why do I bring that up? When Nikki comes out here and she's smiling and she's doing like these harmless gestures, I don't even think of Nikki like that anymore. Like that was like early Nikki, who was just like, you know, she's just like almost like this Barbie that's just like positive. Now I feel like Nikki's kind of like salty and bitter, and it's very different. Like I've only heard her like go crazy on people for whatever reason. Anyway. So that happened, and I'm not going to lie. Here's some more.
So we're just going to dive right into this. You had some fun words for Governor Newsom. I have to read these tweets because they're amazing, and they are so funny. Okay, first one. We'll do this one. Unless you want to read it in your own voice. I think it'd be really great. Okay.
Oh, Gabby Poo, it only gets worse from here for you, buddy. It's the end of the road for you, my love. Get on the nearest jet ski and let that beautiful hair blow in the wind. It'll make you happier than this race that you will not win. Enjoy life. Peace.
Damn, it's kind of interesting watching Nicki Minaj even in front of Erika Kirk. Do you remember Nicki Minaj with Uzi's girl, JT, and she basically, you know, was bossing around JT on that live and was just like, yo, perform. She wanted her to like rap your diss at me because you dropped a diss song about me, so rap it now. And I ain't gonna lie to you, most of the women who really love Nicki and hip hop, they kind of like, you know, succumb to her whatever demand she has, and they're kind of they grovel at her feet. It's rare that we see Nicki Minaj outside her element, and then, you know, say Erika Kirk or anyone else could be like, "Hey, Nicki, how about you read it?" And she's not talking back. She's not giving an attitude. She's not looking sassy. She's coming out with the heart symbol. This is the first time in a while I've seen Nicki Minaj actually look like she isn't about to crash out, or she has some type of respect. Like, she usually talks to people very disrespectfully, and, you know, it looks like that's different, at least in this setting.
Okay. One more.
Why not? Imagine being the guy running on wanting to see trans kids. Haha, not even a trans adult would run on that. Normal adults wake up and think they want to see healthy, safe, happy kids. Not Gav. The Gav nots. Gav not in. Gav out. Send in the next guy. I'm bored.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting. I feel like Nicki comes across like a little bit like a puppet. Not saying she doesn't believe these things, right?
So I'm just going to let you riff. Like, I want you to say whatever you want to say.
Yeah, and it's really the setup about this. It's like, you know, Erika Kirk, who people have so many criticism of her, she brought on the rapper who will echo talking points and, like, you know, she could say the N-word, but Erika can't. So this whole thing kind of feels like, damn, it's a little bit unbecoming of what I think Nicki is, because Nicki for the longest she's kind of acted like she's just bigger than the program. So watching her at this Turning Point USA show and she's acting within the confines of the program is like, oh, okay. So basically, Nicki or anyone else, they will change your minds and be a little bit malleable as long as it could help them. And what I think the help here is Nicki Minaj is realizing Turning Point USA has a huge audience. Also, a lot of things are moving towards politics. Politics seems to have all the drama and have all the good debates and all the things that I think people like. Well, not necessarily Nicki, but a lot of people are drawn to it. So,
Well,
Mr. Newsom.
dear Newscom,
see, that's what I don't like. It feels like they want Nicki to say that they could laugh at it, but they're not really inclusive of Nicki as well, right? It's just that they want somebody to diss Gavin Newsom or any of their political ops.
we don't have a problem cleaning up the scum if we have to. Please tread lightly. That's what I would say to Gavi Poo.
Okay.
You have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you
Oh, wow. Oh, so Nicki's leaning all the way political. Now, I do want to point this out. And for anyone who, because I do think that there's a misconception even about me, right? Like, number one, Ack is bought and paid by the believes this. Because I don't think you hear it for the... Has Nicki been saying this? I know she's critical of Gavin Newsom. By the way, she has a lot of background and incentive there. Nicki Minaj lives in California. California is a place that, you know, with all her legal battles that she's going through, and even how they publicly have used some of her rival, including Meg Thee Stallion's music or otherwise, to kind of represent what they got going on. And yeah, I can see why she probably feels she has to be on the opposite side, because we all know Nicki Minaj, she takes her feuds personally. But, you know, not shaming no one here or trying to accuse anyone of anything, but, you know, I oftentimes think about the situations that Nicki is in. Nicki has certain things, not only financially, taxes, whatever, or liens, or whatever they might call it, and I want to be very careful because I want to make her look bad when I'm just trying to analyze the situation. But also, her husband is a registered sex offender, and, you know, the demeanor of California state government, which is ran by a Democrat, I could see, you know, she's been actually really kind of combative with them, not only on social media. So I could see why she kind of would fall on the side of like a Trump or like Republicans. But I've never heard this before from her. And maybe I don't tune into everything. I know the barber's going to be like, no, she's always loved Trump. But I'm like, it does surprise me that Nicki, unless I missed something, didn't show up, did not vocalize her support for Trump while he was going for re-election. Yet a year and some change, or almost 2 years into his presidency, she's now vocalizing her support. She is vocalizing her support, saying he's a wonderful president, this and third. And that's when I start to think, is she really thinking these things versus her realizing that, you know, this TPUSA thing is such a huge deal. Like, you know, I'm telling you, politics right now, it's popping off. And it's the first time I've ever seen politics be so inviting of the casual viewer, mostly, even if you just want drama, you just want whatever. It's bringing in a lot of people. And if you look at like the numbers like hip hop and most other genres pale in comparison to politics. So when I look at that, I'm like, is Nicki just trying to, you know, placate and kind of like pander to this side, because right now that's where the meta seems to be, but also be with like Turning Point USA, because they have a huge audience. Or maybe she really does feel like this. That's where I'm stuck on. I don't know if Nicki actually feels like this, right? Anyway, I know I paused here, so let me just keep it going.
And you have amazing role models like
They will actually pay you for just playing their
amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president.
Okay. Now, this right here, Nikki's one who loves to hear herself speak, and I like hearing Nikki speak too. But Nikki's just said the assassin, J.D. Vance. Like, generally speaking, we don't refer to our presidents, who most of them sanction murders and mass murders overseas constantly. Like, they press one button, sign one thing, and there's a bomb dropping fucking in, who knows, Iraq or something, like Syria, and people are dying, and we don't hear about it, so we think nothing happens. But yeah, they authorize murder. So we generally don't look at that side of it, and we don't call our own presidents, like, whether it's terrorist or murderers or whatever. But the irony, so I'm saying that's like a bad choice of word. But then the irony of this is that the person who founded TPUSA, which is Charlie Kirk, he got murdered. And with him being murdered, it's like, all right, it's like it's not even too soon, because she's not making fun of him. It's like, you might not want to talk about an assassin when there's still like this fever pitch about whether this guy died by the hand of a lone gunman who was just anti-Trump and anti-Maga and anti-Charlie Kirk, clearly. Or maybe this guy actually passed away because of some of these conspiracy theories, that maybe somebody in the government wanted him killed. Maybe it was Israel. Maybe it was his own organization. Maybe if one of them wasn't the killer, the other was probably like covering it up, and that makes it interesting. So I think that was a Freudian slip. But yeah, they didn't embarrass her.
J.D. Vance, our vice president. Assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that...
Oh, she's trying to reel it in. She's trying to reel it in. Now, the funny part about it, which, I don't want to judge a grieving widow ever, but I'm going to keep it a being with you. Charlie Kirk's wife, I'm not saying she don't miss her husband. I do think she do. I think she missed him. I think she loved him. They have kids together. I think her life has changed. But let me tell you this. She loves this motherfucking clout. You could tell. She loves this goddamn clout. She loves the idea that she's now the queen of she's the queen of the empire right now, or the queen of the kingdom. And essentially, you see these moments where it feels a lot more about, her kind of like popping in and doing her thing more than her grieving her husband. Not saying she has to grieve her husband 24/7, but I feel like she loves the clout. You guys could tell me different.
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine.
Now, another thing is this. By the way, also here's the thing too. Like, obviously there are conspiracy theories or theorists. A lot of people feel like she fucking J.D. Vance. I'm just calling a spade a spade. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud, chat. There's some pictures of, her husband just died. And every time she with J.D. Vance, she hugging him like it's going out of style. She looking at him like he just proposed, like they're about to do that dance they do at a wedding. So, yeah, some people already think that she already, giving it up. Now, I don't know these things to be true. So I'm just kind of going off, what the internet is saying, even though, again, I do not know this to be true. But people feel like she been trying to shop that little pussy around, since her husband dead. Like, she looking at it like, yo, I'm going to fuck one of y'all, and I don't care who it is type shit. So that's another thing, which, I'm only bringing this up because TPUSA, like, part of their audience is now filled with skeptics and filled with people who believe in conspiracy theories that think there's way more to his murder. So when you say something like that, they're going to say, of course, the wife of the guy who dies and the, who is linking up with this character yes, he's the vice president, but Nicki Minaj called him an assassin. Maybe that dude killed Charlie because he wanted her wife, or his wife. Again, I'm just pointing out how some of this stuff is a Freudian slip because Nicki Minaj is riffing and she's going off script too much.
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you.
Oh, wow.
I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment.
That was awkward. And by the way, Candace Owens going to have a field day with that, right? Field motherfucking day with that one. Okay. I said she's making history yet again, being the first person to participate.
Today solved one of the great insecurities that I had. Because as I've watched Nicki Minaj come out and declare her support for the truth, for courage, and for wisdom, I've had this little nagging voice in the back of my head wondering whether she thinks I look like the J.D. Vance meme. And it turns.
Anyway, politics is now turned into like pop culture super drama. If you guys watch anything to do with like House of Cards.
What have you, I mean, you're an amazing mother.
Thank you.
What have you seen that has been a struggle for young women today? And then also, since both of us have little boys, I would love for you to also talk about the male side of that question as well.
Okay, well, something that I've noticed recently is that for little girls, I think that no matter how you look, we should be trying to instill into them to be proud of how they look. Recently, in the media, it's almost been like a push to, it's not just making young black children feel proud of themselves, but it's almost like doing that and at the same time telling other children not to be proud of themselves. And I don't want any child feeling that way. If as black women, we felt that we were not being represented and not being admired for our beauty, if we felt like that as black women, why would we want to do that to other women?
Amen.
Why would we now need to make other people downplay their beauty so that we can feel, no, that's not how it works. I don't need someone with blonde hair and blue eyes to downplay their beauty because I know my beauty. Do you understand? It doesn't bother me that a woman feels and says that she's beautiful. Amen. Why shouldn't she feel that? Why have we gotten to a point where certain colors or certain kinds of people have to be afraid of loving themselves and loving the way they look? Mm-hmm. Like, isn't that wild? Yeah. And so for little girls, I don't want what was done to little black girls done to little white girls. I don't want it done to any girls. I want all the little girls in the world to know that you are unique, you are beautiful, you are you, and you can compliment another girl, you can compliment another woman and still know that you are epic and amazing. So that's what I would say for the girls. And I know I know my adults understand clearly where I'm going with that, where I'm getting, I don't like that. I don't like people making other people feel badly about themselves in any way. We need to nurture young girls. Yes, whether they are black, white, Asian, Hispanic, they still need to be nurtured. They cannot continue to pay for other people's sins. They haven't done anything wrong.
Amen. And what do you think about for young men? for young men.
And for young men, don't be new scum. Yes, see, dear young men, you have amazing role models like our handsome, dashing president. And you have amazing role models like the assassin J.D. Vance, our vice president. And when I say that,
Trust me, there's nothing new under the sun that I have not heard, so you're fine. Yes, we did. I love you. I love you. You have to laugh about it, truly. I have been called every single thing, and you know what? God is so good, you let it roll right off your back. And this is what's so beautiful about this moment, because if the internet wants to clip it, who cares? I love this woman. She's an amazing woman. She has a soul and a heart for the Lord. And words are words, but I know her heart, and it doesn't even matter. And you say what you want to say because I know your heart. And I will not judge that.
Thank you, my sister. Thank you. For boys, be boys.
Amen.
Be boys. It's okay. Be boys. There's nothing wrong with being a boy.
Amen.
How about that?
Amen.
How powerful is that? How profound is that?
Amen.
Boys will be boys, and there's nothing wrong with that. Yeah, that's.
Hey, Soul Family. Okay, so time to get into your girl. Let's get into Miss Onika Tanya Mirage, Miss Nikki Minaj, okay? So, lots to unpack with her, especially with, you know, her going with the conservative party. And I know it's a lot of questions behind it. But I think that I'm most effective when I follow my Revist, your head, that little soft spot above, guys, that's your head. Speak to it, too. That's your Revist. Tell it to guide you every morning before your feet hit the ground to where you need to be, the people, places, things, and, you know, and all the good energy and all of that, okay? But anyway, it works for me when I need to do her current energy. So let's get into her current energy. I was trying to wait a little while. I was looking up certain clips so I, you know, make sure that I added them in for you guys. And not that they'll be long, but it's always good, especially for you guys who are just hearing about it but haven't actually physically seen anything, any visuals, you know? And also, I wanted to wait to Queen Sheba, but she's still on. And a lot of the women have a lot of good talking points on, you know, how they feel about why she's made this choice. And I think that even with me, I was listening, a lot of what each of the women said that were coming up on the panel had a lot of valid, you know, concerns, a lot of valid thoughts. And so I would love to hear what you guys think in the comments. So make sure that y'all share your point of view, you know, because when and make sure you guys go give Queen Sheba a follow. That's why I said I'm gonna probably post this after I can maybe pull a small snippet of clip. But you guys, they had a really, really good conversation about Nikki today, especially, you know, choosing this conservative party aspect. All right. I heard some of the women state that, you know, it's an energy of her needing help in general, you know, with her resources, with her stance as far as protection, because she's feeling victimized a lot when it comes to the industry. So I thought that that was a valid, you know, what the thought was to make this extreme change, right? Also, you know, other people are stating that her picking a side because maybe she's always felt that way, and normally, you know, certain y'all support is not enough in the energy that she's dealing with as far, and again, it kind of goes back to what we're saying with the powers that be. So I would love to hear what you guys think, how you feel, how it's affected you, because it's a lot of people who grew up with her music that really, you know, her speaking against trans community, her speaking against that community really probably got through some tough times, you know, with the music that she brought. You get what I'm saying, guys? Because I know a lot of times, I can honestly say from this standpoint of knowing what music means to people, it's because a lot of times when we're out and about, or if, you know, we're in certain energy spaces, people will often say, wow, you know, I love Rico Wade so much. Like, he brought us so much to the table. I got through college with Outkast music or Goody Mob music. You get what I'm saying? So I feel for everybody who really, really supported her from that aspect. So I just like to share with y'all, just talking before we get into the energy, but I really want to hear what y'all think, because this is interesting. This is a real pivotal shift for Nikki, and it's real significant too. I want to say that even before we get into the cards, is because she's a Sagittarius sun, like I was saying to you guys, you know, in the astrology part, but that's all about philosophy and a pivot of belief system, right? And with it being a 9 and an ending year, closing out a cycle, she's making a pivotal turn in her beliefs. So it's like right on target. But the question is this going to be for the better good or not? So, of course, let's get on into the cards and see. But just wanted to kind of chat it up with y'all and see how y'all feeling. So make sure you share. Let's do it. All right, so I did already bust the cards. I'm going to still clear the energy space again because it's kind of heavy with her this morning. Or really yesterday, the past days too. Or 24 hours rather. You know? Okay, let's see. Let's get her current energy. I'm glad y'all here with me. I was trying to move a little quicker and get y'all some stuff out yesterday, but honestly, guys, y'all know it's closer to the holidays, so I was trying to tighten up some stuff. So, and I want to make sure that I told you guys that I would have all y'all, keep giving y'all a lot of content to get you through the holidays. So today is the day. Monday, I'm finna make it happen, okay? Let me clear the deck first. You really see. You see I got the pink deck out, all right? So the pink print. All right, so this should make it turn, honey. See what's up with our girl. This is her current energy right now, okay, guys? A lot of people felt yesterday, too, that when they looked at her up there with Turning Point USA and Erika Kirk, that it wasn't authentic. So I'm interested to hear what y'all got to say, too. So make sure y'all add in the comments. I probably should have went live with this one. Y'all, let me know what days or what time, too. Chime in on, let's create a live night in a week where we can all kind of tap in together and just, and y'all can even, the comments, because so much stuff happen daily. We can kind of go live and tap into the energy, of different people. So let me know what you think, all right? We got that. Nikki. I'm gonna just stop right here because we got some questions to ask, you know. So let's get into her current energy, okay? I'm gonna pull this other deck that I like too a lot. And we're gonna get two perspectives. Cause she is making some decisions, ain't she, y'all? Okay, so that was top and bottom. That's interesting. Okay, so I was just unpacked. Every time I pause, just give me a second, y'all. You know, I have to you know, just kind of see what Spirit's saying. So it's interesting. Her first card, guys. Hold on, give me 1 second, okay? I realized that Queen Sheba was still on. Okay, so 7 of Wands, first card out the gate, current past energy. It's about, you know, feeling powerless. So and a lot of what y'all feeling about her right now and why she's making this decision is because she's feeling the energy of defeat in some areas of her life, okay? She feels powerless, and it's like it's like she's up to here in her head, you know, with the energy of just the criticism, and she really is not feeling supported. I mean, she loves her bars. I mean, that came up in her readings, and I've done a couple of readings on her, maybe one on her, which was just her alone, but other one was, I think, with her and Cardi. But this is about her trying to regain control of her life in a lot of different aspects and areas of it, okay? She got a lot coming at her, y'all. And let me say this. When you see that, like, you like, ooh, I'm fighting, right? You standing your ground. It's like she's finding another way. She finding alliances and the help and the support that she's needed. She felt like her back been up against the wall. And right now, with all the challenges that have been facing her, she like, well, you know what? I'm going to defend my life. I'm going to defend my wealth. I'm going to defend, you know, what she has. She's doing what she has to do, period. But I'm going to say this, the 7 of Wands, guys, it's a card that is about choices, right? It's about mastery, and it's a powerful energy. Wands, remember, in the ground, you see the earth leaves on the actual wands of the suit of the deck, okay? So wands are spiritual, all right? And at the end of the day, this is her desire that she wants to get into a, you know, a stable energy space, whatever that looks like for her, meaning to secure her family, secure her finances, securing her legacy, you know, all of the things. But it can also represent the challenges that are up against her as far as people, they could be throwing that spiritual work her way. You know, she's dealing with it on a lot of levels. And when spiritual work gets done on people, it depends on what the person's intentions were for whatever energy they sent her way. So she got opposition spiritually and physically, all right? And to me, it's a effect that's coming out in a cerebral moment in her head, right? Because everybody's questioning her mental health, allegedly. All right. So the next card, you know, with this, her just feeling like, ooh, I got to stand up for what I believe in. And so it's funny too. I'm going to say this too about this card. It's not only saying that she got to stand up, but remember, she's changed her point of view. So she feels confident in defending this MAGA or conservative party issue. Coming out, it's a challenge because everybody like, well, bitch, what the fuck you got going on? What you doing? And she feel like, okay, this what's up. I'm defending this party. I'm standing up for conservatives, right? It's so funny because the next card is the Wheel of Fortune, right? And this is about cycles. And did I not say that? I'm speaking this before we even flip cards, right? I said this is a pivotal moment for her in her life, in her own solar return season. It's real interesting to see how this is all playing out in, you know, timing right now, right on point. But when you're looking at that wheel, and it's just like she's headed into a new area, a new, you know, basically just new grounds altogether, new territory, you know, because that's the opposite of what you were standing up for, to believe in, to begin with. And when you see this Wheel of Fortune, that represents the world. And when it's in, you know, reverse, it's an energy of this was an unexpected event for us to even see her come up. The cards have a sense of humor, right? You know, with this being an unexpected event, because that's what the Wheel of Fortune represents and reverses. We did not expect her to come up here and be like, this bitch, this is what I'm standing on. And, you know, representing, and so everybody's in shock, right? And this is the wheel turning, and it also still backs up her feeling like things are out of control, beyond her, you know, what she can do. So at this point, she's had to seek out to be able to move forward to a new cycle, guys, to a, you know, an area that she feels like is safe for her and her family, her life, and how she's, you know, doing things, right? This is an unwanted change. She didn't necessarily want to, but it's in the cards. It's like, it's time to move forward. I'm tired of being stuck. I'm tired of this wheel in reverse represents her feeling like it's been the same thing. She come down here and address Jay-Z, or she's getting into it with Meg. You know, a lot of people still need to, I'm going to say this too about Nikki. Because like I said, I'm a person that I like to play devil's advocate. I want to see it from both sides of the coin, not just because of what I believe or what I feel. Okay, so what if I feel like maybe, you know, I'm just giving you an example, she shouldn't be conservative. Then if that's how you feel, don't allow that to stand in the way of what is really happening and what's really going on and why, you know, she's in the space that she's in. Yes, the Barb support her. She knows that. I'm telling you, we ain't even got through the cards yet. And I know that you can probably see it in the energy that she does have a true love for her fans. But it's like a situation where I want to say, because I'm not, you know, like meaning all the legalities of it, but for Roc Nation to sign on Meg Thee Stallion, I want to take y'all back. Nikki was a part of Tidal, which is what Jay-Z created. It was a streaming platform, basically like iTunes, or, you know, where we got to go on there to buy the music. And remember, at one point, I don't know if y'all remember, but hell, you couldn't even get Beyonce music no more on iTunes. You had to go to Tidal, right? And so Nikki, you know, being a loyal, you know, down with her team, she went with that. And it was something that he was building and starting up. So we don't know the terms and conditions of what he promised her. It might not be hundreds of $millions that she's speaking on, but I guarantee you it's valid, right? And we'll pull the cards on that too. We're going to ask about that. We're going to go back into Jay-Z. So we're going to get into that. But I just want to bring this to y'all mindset. I'm building something. Come with me. She trusted in them. She went with him. And when things, obviously that went away. We don't see it anymore. So it must have failed, right? So now it's probably a deal that they had on the table. And she might not have necessarily been studying it so much in all this time. But, and I kind of let you slide, probably knowing you owe me money. You promised me this, but because we, you know, somewhat like, you know, have respect for each other, or, you know, this is before all of this transpired, I'm willing to just kind of go along to get along. And then you gonna turn around and sign my enemy, a bitch that I don't fuck with? when I gave you loyalty up front and you owe me bread, and then you gonna come down here and play in my face with this bitch? Okay, we gonna see how that go. You know, y'all gotta look at it from a standpoint of that as well when it comes to Nikki. You get what I'm saying? Because just imagine, he still owe her money right now. The next card she got is the Two of Cups, right? And it's in reverse. And this to me represents a lot of different things, because it's what we talked about. Divine communion is not like the Lover's card. We just hooking up, right? This is like, I always say, divine communion. It's a different type of connection. So when you're looking at the challenges and the decision she had to make, which that was a challenging decision too, on her end, to come up here, stand up for, you know, and switch to the Maga party, the cycle changes and the world is upside down. So you got fans that's disappointed in you. So this is what this represents, because these people truly have a genuine love for you. This decision that she made, if you look at this cycle that changes, she already understands that it's going to be a lot of you guys that feel the way you feel, and they're going to walk away from her. But I told you, even in the cards, right? I said, I guarantee you, we'll see the love that she has for her barbs, because it'll probably come out in some of the messages, and it's right here because it's a Two of Cups that came out. It's a true love that she has, and it's like, I hate that I have to do this, and hopefully, you know, you guys will see my plan. You'll see. It's like Nipsey in a song he had when he said, what's the song? Motivation, hard work plus patience, sacrifice. I'm still, what's the name of that song? But on that song, it just came to me right here when I'm talking to the, you know, her fan base, her bars that she loved. He said, go to high school, didn't go. He said, now y'all niggas see my plans that didn't know, or something like that. Make sure y'all go listen to that. Yeah, I think it's on Real Big, but on his song on Victory Lap. But this is what this represents. Like, y'all gonna see why I made this choice on down the line. You know, hopefully it won't be too much damage, but her back is against the wall. And look, I can't make it up. She love her barbs. She love y'all. She hate that she gotta make these changes, but these changes are necessary for her to be able to move forward. Remember, that's a cycle about change. She can't stay stuck in this position because it's work with no results right here. But she gotta understand that for right now, taking a somewhat of a loss. Look at that Page of Cups. Y'all see that? She love y'all. You know, this is about news. And when it's in an upright, it's about loyalty. So maybe, you know, for the barbs to not mistake her loyalty for decisions that she had to make right now in order to move forward to the next cycle of her life, for things to turn around, for things to, you know, get on good foot for her, on level playing field. She up against a lot of demons and a lot of different situations, and a lot of the stuff you can't see. We can't see it. We can't see it. We don't know all them folks' business. We don't know. It's a lot of stuff that we don't know. That probably got to do with business, people, you know, her husband, whoever, for that matter. You know, the industry, the powers that be is another level, right? We're going to hear some messages coming up about her. And I mean, the Page of Cups is a positive card, but it's a lot of people that are feeling emotional about the decision she made too, okay? So we're hearing that from all over the world, really, pretty much today. That's why I was like, we got to get in here and get this reading, okay? 3 of Wands, you know, her making this decision with this alternative party, conservative party, you know, it's about expansion. It's about, you know, growth. It's about, reaching the levels of whatever she feel like she needs to reach to be able to continue to go forward, probably in her life, her career, all of the things. You know, this is about restriction. She been limited in different ways. This also talks about people being in their emotions, and this will limit her on some level in certain ways too. Right now, while she's making this decision to make this change, right? She got struggles coming ahead. And sometimes when you're getting ready for a war, you got to plan for it, right? So if she been experiencing all this opposition and restriction, you know, and she just been frustrated. She felt like these people don't understand me. They don't hear me. Because keep in mind, it's a lot going on that we don't know. We only know what they let us know so far based on what our knowledge is, right? And this is the struggle ahead. So it's like, you know what? Let me figure some things out so I can turn things around, right? Because she understands that the struggles are coming. She's spiritual. It comes up in her cards too. Well, she should naturally be that way anyway. She's a Sagittarius sun, right? The Six of Swords, you know, I'm going to say something too. You know, a lot of people, we talk about the her mental state. And it's been tough for her. You know, she experienced instability when it comes to her mind, allegedly, okay? She probably has some issues around probably like a little bit of anxiety energy. And just, she got a lot of unresolved issues around her. So the bottom line is Nikki is moving in a place to, she's trying to figure out a way to change the tide. Because the cycle continues, the cycle turns. So as these things that she's facing, it won't be in a stuck energy. Because right now, she's stuck. So that even confirms more that her hands was tied. She had to make a decision. And even with the wands there, it's a certain amount of protection she felt that she need too. Even if it is short-lived. Look at how the wheel turn upside down, right? So I don't even think that she feel like this is a long-term energy. You know, but it's more about let me deal with the people that I need to deal with, even if it is that people don't like. That could represent that Two of Cups in reverse as well. You know, let me make the decision to go do all the things I need to do. Relationships need to get done. The plans that's fucked up that's been going not right for me. Let me see if I got to go deal with underhanded or the opposition people who feel like I'm going to deal with the ops. Well, let me go. You know, maybe I got to go deal with the ops right now to get this and not be struggling and continuing to be stuck, right? I love my people, but they not helping me enough. It's not enough. Not right now for what I got going on in my life. But I truly love my people. Look, it's the powers that be. It's funny. Look at the focal point of the card, guys. The Emperor, right? That's like the father. That's, to me, also represents the structures, the people, the powers that be, the strengths that we don't see behind us that she's fighting up against, that she's dealing with, right? And it's hard to be an emperor, right? Because it's like a solid structure. Y'all see that? That's interesting. Top of the deck, bottom of the deck. She got 2 pages. She got 3 pages on the table. News. You know, you got 3 cards of news that's coming out in the upright, right? Might even hear some stuff about, another thing too. Let me say this. That's why I like, it may take a minute for me to unpack when I see my readings. That's why I say in the current energy, she could be about to have another baby. That's baby energy right there as well. Okay? So I think I pulled that in her energy too. So she might be having, adding to their family, but getting Papa Bear a little sibling or something. Because the energy it's in her messages, so it's very possible, okay? I want to say that as well. But with this Page of Pentacles, this is about, again, the planner, being consistent, wanting to be grounded. All of those things represent the messages in this card. But news of money. She made money off this situation. And it may be an energy of her forming, I remember I said her decision to make this change and move conservative. It's like she needs help in so many different ways. So we clearly see she needs, help in protecting her family. Look, defending. Cups is emotional. So the people she loves, the people she care about, herself, her life, right? Pentacles is protecting her money. So it's news to come out about finances and, probably some financial situations for her that are going to be where she can make some changes that she need to make to continue to move forward. People may not like it, but the messages are here, right? And she'd been thinking about this for a while. But now y'all actually physically see it because it's news, it's here, it's in your face, right? Page of Swords is here. This is about cerebral energy. This is the internet, This is all the news coming out. And everybody just talking about it. Everybody like, what the hell is wrong with her? But some people are saying, everybody got a lot of different things to say, but it's here in the messages, right? And it's going to be more news to come out, and you guys are going to hear about it. I'm not sure about her music. It's here, with these pages. This is the creative project. That's also going to be coming out, too. She got a new project that she going to be releasing. And I'm not trying to be funny. Based on the position of these cards, it may not be from her people that have walked away from her. See that Two of Cups in reverse? But when the Page of Cups is in the upright, just as many people that mad right now and don't fuck with her no more, gonna be just as many people that do fuck with her. So at the end of the day, she's still gonna make money. I mean, it's not gonna change who she is, because it's here. Everybody talking about her. She the topic of conversation. She is the queen of rap, That's interesting. Let's pull the other cards to see what comes out. Wow, Nikki, you got a lot going on, girl. Okay, 31 minutes, y'all. Let's move on along. Let's see what this one does too. And then what we're gonna ask is, let's ask what was the energy around that turning point and all of that with her and Erika Kirk. Let's ask that. We'll ask about her love life too. Let's ask about that since we're so close to it, So let's get this energy right quick. Nicki Minaj. Let's see what's to come for her. What's ahead? I'm going to ask about relationship. One. Alright, let's pull these top down. Let's see. That's so funny. Look at her focal point card. Let's get into it. Let's unpack first. Wow. Backing up the messages. Head on. Backing them up. Just spot on. So, that's crazy. Okay, so top of the deck, bottom of the deck. Okay, so Nikki. Check this out. So this solidifies, right, what we were talking about. Because we said, what was her current energy, current past? What drove her to, move into this energy that she's in, this decision she make to move forward? This is about what's ahead for her. This is about what's to come, love, family, whatever, all of the different energies. The first card that comes out, her focal point, and I said it. She felt like her hands was tied. Her back was up against the wall. Because guess what? This is about the 10 of coins. This is about family legacy. I said it in the messages. Concerned about all different things, right? Her wealth, her lineage, her home, her security, securing her estate, her privileges that she already has, right? Doing her domestic duty to go up there in her mindset to make a different change so she can secure this. This is what it's all about. This is the focal point. This is the driving force. 7 of coins. Again, it's a spiritual thing. Okay? This is securing her legacy. Remember, the tradition of, for this card is that man with that stick in the ground and all those pentacles piled up. But here, it's a woman giving birth. And look at the harvest and the fruits of her labor. She's holding it in her hand, right? I'm going to say it again. Even with the picture just being there, don't be surprised if we see her add to her family this year, right? And have a baby. But this is also about her new album, her new projects, any other projects that she want to get off the ground, hell, for that matter. But this is all that she's built. And she like, you know what? I got to defend this. This is what I got to stand on the 10 for. She like, I want to reap my harvests. I want to reap, all my, the beautiful things that I've built. And not to see it fleet and go away. She wants to make good investments going forward. That's her goal. But I'm going to tell you, Sylvan's Coins is a spiritual card as well. So it's also an energy, like I said, she got a lot of, of that type of energy coming at her, coming against her. Work. Okay? Allegedly. And look. These cards lined up beautifully, y'all. I can't even make this up. Protecting her legacy. Figuring so she can continue to build, continue to grow, continue to do her projects. Because look at the issues that she's been up against. The powers that be. Look at the Hierophant. I can't make this up. Look at that, soul family. I like to hold the cards up so y'all can see that. Wow. This is about rulers. This is about the leaders. This is about her switching the tide, making a decision to go with religious traditions. Listen, old structures. Isn't government old structures turning point? Conservative party. She decided to do that because this is what she need to help against moving forward, you know, in her life. This has been the struggle, and she got to be able to move forward. She don't want to lose that. So this is her making the change, conforming to the institutions. Also represent her marriage, you know. King of Swords is here. This is about the legal matters and different things that she has to deal with, okay? This is that situation with that house energy, King of Swords, right? It's like we getting messages, my nose itching. And it's like in her mind, when you have that King of Swords in reverse, it's about, you know, making clear, having a clear vision and a clear understanding and a clear decision on, you know, what you got to do to move forward, right? So it also represents, she feels keen and sound in her mind, her heart, and her soul that she made the right decision. This is about mind over matter, right? So she's standing in it. If y'all want to know how she felt up there, she was more comfortable than you thought, because it's something that she's been thinking about for a while, you know? Her siding with the president. He is King of Swords. You know, Gemini sun, Hierophant, government. Siding with J.D. Vance, right? The messages are here. Lunar eclipse energy for her. I can't make it. The messages be, boy, the messages be messaging. Okay, guys? I'm sorry I keep saying that, but sometimes when we do these readings, the cards line up in a way where it just blows your mind, where you can clearly see the answers and the messages right here. You know, it's like in your face, like this is what it is, right? When you see that lunar eclipse, that's what we're talking about. She closing out a cycle, right? It's a deep emotional cleanse for her. She been hurting in a lot of ways. She could even be hurting in her marriage, of course. Family here on the table, legacy here, business, but up against the powers that be. So many things been tearing Nikki up, right? And a lot on the level that you can't see, right? But with this eclipse, it's about, she's like, I got to do something so I can feel and just have a release. Because eclipse is about letting go and standing in and moving into the new. You know, in the next 3 months, we'll hear some, you know, messages around her. Maybe they'll feel, you know, the gap for questions, unanswered questions from her, you know, supporters, her family, you know, her fans, and people who felt like they needed more answers of why she made the choice to make this decision. So don't be surprised within the next 90 days, it's going to come, news is going to be more clear why these decisions, why she made the decision she had to make, right? But this is about seeing clearly going forward, believe it or not. And this card also represents divine aid, help from above, help from Olodumare, you know, help from angels, ancestors, and spirit guides, okay? Because she is ending a chapter. Some things around her are going to be coming to an end. Also, you might see some changes apart in ways, and I don't know if it will be business, contractual, different things, but you're going to see some release come from her in all different areas. And remember, she got 3 cards of news, so news is going to come out. So you guys will hear things that are hidden, they're going to start to come about, and we're going to know more and more and more, right? So the great reveal is ahead. We can, safe to say, even looking in the cards, right? 2 of coins, because she been paying a balance in it. She been juggling, right? And she just like, you know what? It's time to stop going back and forth. It's time to stop going back and forth. It's time to make, you know, quick, sound decisions so I can prioritize and stop juggling. This can also represent the energy of how her husband be moving, allegedly, okay? And what I mean by that is juggling, partying somewhere else, but, doing some other things, right? It's hearing the messages. But for the most part, in the base part, you can see that they are clearly behind, like I said, don't be surprised if you see Papa Bear get a sibling soon, because the messages are in the cards, right? You got the Knight of Swords here, right beside the King of Swords. So she know that this shit rubbed a lot of people the wrong way, But this is about quick action, quick change. And she feels, like I said, justified in the decision that she made yesterday. She seized the day yesterday with the shit that she was on. And she understand that everybody talking about it, everybody saying, what the hell, what the fuck is wrong with her? She know, she see it, she don't care though. She like, I'm doing what I need to do. And look, judgment is here. Is this not the focal point of the reading? Ain't everybody judging her right now? Everybody. Can't make the messages up. But she like, you know what? I had to step it up. I had to go ahead and make this decision. She got karmic lessons ahead though. So, like I said, we're going to see some changes come. She, like I said, she got a few messages in the cards too. Like I said, we don't diagnose here, but she can also too be stemming from, having some mental health, breaks here and there. You can see them in the cards, right? But it's like she in an energy where she ready to make a lot of changes. A lot. Like she's like, you know what? I need to tighten up on everything. My mental health, me, myself, my life, and everything around me. She having a pivotal moment. We need to see what her personal year number is too. Because she's going through a lot of changes. You got Eight of Swords, releasing limiting beliefs, right? And that's the card. Remember I said, she like, y'all, the messages keep coming through, right? She like, I am strong on my decision to move forward. Okay, this is her power. This is her way of escaping whatever she been dealing with and up against, okay? And this is her way of moving forward. And she's releasing the limiting beliefs. Maybe she felt like she was limiting herself by worrying about what her fans thought so much is what she really had to do personally that maybe she couldn't really share with you guys. But it's still a card of, feeling like she's trapped. She felt like she was trapped. And remember I said, y'all, I can't make up the messages. The High Priestess is here. This card is about breaking free in reverse, right? But you see how the lady got the blindfold? Traditional card is just like locked up. And she been feeling so limited in the energy of, what she can do. Remember I said it's some shit that we can't see. High Priestess does nothing but stand on business and solidify that. Because the High Priestess is the one with all the secrets, okay? She sits between, I think, if you look at the history of her card, between Boaz but it's like the hidden spiritual realm that can't be seen. Look up the meaning of it. It's a deep meaning of this card, too. And it's interesting because she feel like she imprisoned in that, locked up in some stuff that y'all just don't have no idea. It's mysteries for us. But she's definitely intuitive, tapping into her intuition. And I'm going to say something. Nikki is like, High Priestess is the bridge between worlds, the living and the dead. You get what I'm saying? So, living and ancestors. And she has that, she understands the gap. Even though she come down here and play crazy, she understand, y'all, on a lot of levels, okay? And she just in a place like, I'm ready. She is diving deep into her spiritual energy right now around this solar return time that she got. Because it's here in the messages, right? And her making these alliances, you know, breaking free from what was old, what was there to set her up and take her down, the energies are here. It's like, you know what? I'm rebuilding my mental strength. Remember I said it's messages in the cards. But imagine what you would be going through mentally with all the things that she got dealing with. She no judgment. People judging the fact that her husband is a, you know, what they say, a pedophile or whatever, that he has to also let their address be doxed, or it has to be listed where they live. She got a lot of spiritual energy coming for her. Telling you, I keep saying it. But she getting ready. She preparing. Something about Nikki. She moving in a sense of silence. It's like everybody's shocked, but she not shocked. She understands what she got to do in order to move to the next thing. And with that first set of cards, it's like, y'all gonna see soon why I had to do what I had to do. And remember, it was 3 cards of pages of news. So y'all will hear and see. And maybe with that eclipse energy was 90, you know, next 3 month cycle, right? 90-day cycle going into the new year 2026. But new projects, that could be the new album, was that Page of Cups too. You know, and you know that she got a lot of different things going on anyway. In projects that she working on that y'all don't know anything about. 7 of Coins. Remember, it's a lot of different things she dealing with, because her focal point is this 10 of Coins to get to the 10, right? 2026 is back to 1 though, to the beginning. Remember that, y'all. 7 of Swords, not what it seems, okay? And that King of Coins. Somebody's swiping her bread, honey. She gonna get to the bottom of it though. And the thing about it is, this is about betrayal. You know, this also is the energy of false pretenses. And so, even though she say that she's standing on it in regards to what she believing in, again, it to me is more in the energy of making a decision for the better of you, right? So it may not be so much that she supports the conservative party, but just more of, like I said, making a mental decision. Remember, mind over heart, to be able to continue to move forward, right? She's switching up her strategy. I'm going to also say that husband situation, you know, allegedly, the energy too of him, could, you know, doing other things, all right? Cheating, all right? But the messages are here. Something may come out too about betrayal of, you know, a powerful energy that has come against her. Don't be surprised if y'all see that coming up in the news as well. I'll check on my puppy. I'm sorry, my baby, my echo. It's a lot that y'all don't see. That's what I will say. You know? Switching up the strategy when it comes to her abundance. So her money is on her mind, baby. And one thing about Nikki, she gonna put in the work behind the scenes too. Something is coming though. Betrayal. We're gonna hear about some things that come with her. Somebody might could even be trying to get away with some things in regards to her. But it's something about the news is gonna come out. Like, we're gonna hear about it where we normally wouldn't hear. Just watch when 2026 move what go on. Just keep y'all ear to the streets, right? So let's ask, how, what's the next thing? So we see, you know, energy ahead for her going into 2026. We see why she made the decision she made. Let's ask, how does she feel about her bars, right? Let's ask that first, and then we'll ask, we'll do 1 or 3. So let's kind of do that. So. Okay, so let's ask, how does she feel? How does Nikki feel about her bars? What's the energy? How does she feel about her bars? Does Nikki Minaj truly love her bars? Her fan base, her fan base, her fan base. Sagittarius, Let's see how she feel, and then we're gonna ask about she love y'all. How does she truly feel? Thank you. It's funny. She real cerebral. Sorry for the pause, okay? It's the messages that still came out the same. It's interesting, you know. She feel like, you know, she dealing with a lot of things. A lot of obstacles are in her path right now. A lot that her fans don't really understand, because it's a lot of things. Again, y'all saw that high priestess that's hidden that you can't see. And in the dark, she has been feeling powerless, you know, and truly facing opposition and just trying to figure out not to give up, but to move forward, right? And it's like she had to make this decision because of, again, that 7 of coins comes right back up, and it's in reverse because things are upside down. And remember, in her messages, it's about turning it around, right? Okay? Work with no results. What's been going on ain't been working out. So the decision she had to make, it was, you know, she's understanding what she's up against, and she's thought about it. The 4 of coins are here. Remember, this is all about her life and her finances and what's really going on, right? So she's like, okay, I gotta make a decision. I gotta evaluate my priorities and get uncluttered to get things back on track, which we saw. And the reason for that being, and it's kind of like the cards have a sense of humor, as the sun is here, okay? She love y'all, okay? She like, this card represents count your blessings. She feel blessed. And she also feels like with that King of Swords there, that you guys, again, will see that it's going to come to you. You're going to understand soon why she had to make the decision she made, okay? It's funny. And waxing moon mother. So she like, I love y'all. This is about me gaining strength. This is about me making progress, all right? The increase for the better of me. So she had a shifting of consciousness, which we're going to see. And it's happening now, right now, within 1 or 2 weeks. It's happening now when you saw her come out with Erika Kirk. But she like, just hold tight. I love y'all. And y'all going to see. Y'all might don't like it right now. but you will see. Ain't that something? Okay, Nikki girl. All right, boo. Okay, so let's ask the energy around her and Jay-Z. You know? And Beyonce. Let's ask. Y'all, we almost hit an hour. Let's see though. And then we're gonna ask about Erika Kirk. Let's see. December 4th. Okay. So, let's see. Cards fill out, didn't it? Any extra messages? Extra messages. Okay. Yeah. Damn. These cards is a motherfucker. Like, the cards do not play. Right? Right? So, look. 10 of Wands. The 10s are solid across the board. That was her message. She was 10 of Coins. Now this is about the 10 of Wands, right? So the 10s and the 10s, it's a heavy load, baby. They don't fuck with each other. It's a whole fight. It's a struggle. I don't fuck with you. You don't fuck with me. I'm over my limit with you. You over your limit with me, right? But it's interesting because it's like Jay-Z is also defending his own situation. So we got to do an update and a reading around him and Beyonce. Because this 10 of Wands go both ways. Right? We asking the energy around them ahead in 2026. So he defending too to not come to the brink of collapse. She defending her. It's like, I'm on my shit, I'm on my stance, you on your stance. She defending hers. So she won't experience brink of collapse. And messages gonna be coming out with that too within the next few weeks. You see that? Wax and moon energy. Because that's about the final steps. I told you she done had some plans in place. She had done thought this out for a while, making this decision for the reasons that she had to make it for, right? And it's here. The Hermit. It's so powerful. That's crazy. It's energy of, again, she got the High Priestess. You know, then this is the Hermit card. This is about going within, you know, dark night of the soul, because she been dealing with so much opposition. Nikki had something of a year this year, in this 9 year, right? And she like been soul searching. And this is her enlightenment phase. It's like, you know what? This is what I got to do to move forward, right? They may try to come to some form of resolve too. Because it looks like it's some things ahead that, again, we had a lot of news cards on the table of news coming out. Things that you guys, or we may hear, you know, shortly coming up. Remember, we at the end of the year, it's only a week. Well, we only a week and a half or so away. I can't believe we made it this fast, right? She got a lot of timing cards. She got that lunar eclipse again in about 3 months. So something about a time frame within the next few weeks, something about a time frame within the next 90 days cycle, 3 months, first half of the year, right? This breaks it down again. So this card solidifies that this energy in that 3 months that came out in her previous messages is about him. It's about Jay-Z, Sean Carter. King of Cups in reverse is here. You know, they gonna still be going back and forth. Because that's emotional immaturity. That's like her talking her shit, you know, going on her rants. And this is the energy of how he feels about her too. Something about, though, even with this message, right? Because 6 of Cups is, like I said, this is a relationship way before any of this stuff has happened right now. Think about it. You know, Nikki been dealing with Beyonce and Jay-Z for quite some time. You know, Meg is fairly new. You know, she not been around the time that they've done, right? So, no, they don't like each other, but it may be some type of way going into the next year where, due to them facing a lot of different energy and opposition, they may try to work something out with her. And the reason why it looked like they may try to work something out with her is because she went and made this pivotal change. She had to make the decision to go get them folks to help her, so she could put her foot down. It was a power move for her, basically. And it's crazy because this is the Fool card in reverse, right? And right now it's safe to say everybody feeling like, girl, you a damn fool. You up there on the bullshit. You done switched it up on everybody. But look, she know that this decision that seems impulsive and look crazy gonna work out. Look at that 6 of Wands. It's in an upright. It say congratulations, victory is here. She had to go through this, and y'all gonna see it because 6 of Wands is about everybody seeing it. That's also another media card. She's famous. This card reaches her. It's like she a damn fool. But something about this, y'all gonna see why she had to do it. That's interesting. What seemed like a loss, it had to happen for her to get back on a good foot. Ain't that what she said in that song? Tell that bitch to get on your good foot. I can't take it. And look, she got a lot of timing cards. So make sure that we look out for the timing and the cycles. Preparing for change. A few months. Make long-term plans. Expressing gratitude. Harvest. Fall energy, right? She been preparing for the change. I said that. Y'all, the messages be the messages, don't they? Let's see. We already at an hour. Let's ask. I guess we can, let's ask about her and Kenneth Petty, because I know we want to ask all the questions. We're here for an hour. Then I'll ask next, I'm trying to think who else we want to ask in regards to. Okay. Around. What's the conflict? Petty. He's a what's the confidence? Let's ask about her album too, her project. It look like things gonna be, you know, she gonna have some success even through the. It's gonna be opposition, but it also look like things gonna work out. But we'll still ask too. Of course, we're going to pull them messy cards, okay? They look like they're going to be having a baby. Yeah. Look, it came right out. Look, look, look. I can't make it up. The Ace of Cups. I said, how she feel about her husband? And what is the energy around and what's to comfort him in 2026? Baby. And she do love him, y'all. Came right out. She loved this man, but they gonna have a tower moment in 2026. So pay attention and look ahead. And even if it's a situation of them already experiencing a tower, because of course he's the, has the, what is it? I think he, PA, I forgot what he got going on, but it ain't good. And at the end of the day, this is about them rebuilding and averting a major tower moment. Okay? For them and their family. But they're going to experience something, but it's interesting that it's in reverse. So it's like, even if we hear about something, or even if they experience some type of rift, it's like they'll try to work, even if it's something we hear and it seems like it's falling apart, they're going to turn it around and work it out, But it's messages here where we're going to see something happen with them next year, because Two of Swords, attention, pay attention to the red flags, right? It's a clear warning, Nikki, for you, right here in the cards. She love him, though. She got some, listen, when this tower happened, she gonna have some decisions to make, okay? When it comes to him. But she love him, though, guys. It's in the messages. And the baby is here twice because the son. Wow. Count your blessings. The baby gonna be a blessing. And she might even have a baby and experience some, something crazy, or like, might be a tough situation, but it's gonna be okay, She gotta take care of her health too. And the Ace of Coins and the Sun, new. Just think, that's two aces and a Sun card with a yes. So we gonna see that happen. They gonna look like they gonna be expanding their family. They're gonna go through some challenges because the messages are here, but they're gonna move forward. It looks like, Ace of Coins. She gonna be taking risks. Because he done cost her some money. That's another reason why I paused. And guess what? The sun shines light on things. So we may hear news of, like things being revealed in regards to finances when it comes to her having this marriage, Here's some energy. This might be something that causes the tower moment with the Two of Swords. That's, other, two-party energy. Like I said, the messages kept coming up, even with us not asking about him or him doing other things behind her back. But Sun, you can see it comes out, right? And it might be some truth behind what Cardi, when they brought up that about him spending her money, spending her coins, because it's here in the messages, right? Three of Wands. He got restrictions, remember? interesting. Returning home, securing that home that she just dealt with in the legal aspect too, right? She's securing that. Something about him gonna come out, y'all, with them. Energy always change, but just look at the messages, okay? But how does she feel about him? She loves him. Look like they don't even possibly have another baby. But she need to pay attention to him. Don't keep her eye off him. You know what I mean? So let's ask about, okay, so we asked about Kenneth. We asked about Jay-Z and that situation with them. We asked about her, you know, current energy and what's to come for her. Let's ask about her album. Let's see how will it be successful, her project that she got coming out. Let's see. It's going to be some shit coming out. Some things are going to get uncovered and revealed, okay? Because it's been all throughout these messages, right? And it's interesting because it's been consistently out in the messages. So it's like, y'all, we got some news ahead when it comes to Nikki, right? 3 news cards on the table. That's crazy. That's all 4 suits almost, you know? A new album in 2026 be successful. Will it be successful? Project be successful? Will she, you know, experience the kickback from y'all? I just want to know. Huh? I'm just looking at the cards. You know, when I pause, I'm taking the messages in so I can get them to you guys. Because we asking about her, you know, new album and project coming out. And quite a few messages came out, right? It looks like it's interesting. And the reason why it took me a minute is because the Page of Cups, you know, remember that's why I said when I asked about the current energy, all the messages kind of come up right up in that energy right away, right? Because it just came up. But that Page of Cups came up in the very first cards and her pink print cards, right? So that's about, again, her new project. You know, this is her new creative project coming out, as well as representing you guys. She loves her barbs, and she's also thankful for the new people coming in, right? Well, how will this do? She got 2 sides of it. You got a new group of people. That's the 4 of Wands. That's a celebration, you know, of this project being celebrated, right? This creative project will be celebrated by new, but also past is kind of an energy of her barbs. Some of you guys are going to be like, you know what, I can't. But some of you guys are going to, regardless of what she's done, and even though you don't like it, you still gonna support her. You still gonna support the project. It's in the messages, right? Because Six of Cups reverse is about remembering the past, okay? So, again, some of you guys will be, you know, like, I can't. But for the most part, you guys are going to, other ones, and the majority are going to just stand in there because they have a genuine love. She has a genuine love for you guys, and you guys have a genuine love for her, right? Three of Coins is that energy of, you know, it's in reverse, so it can be opposition in the project that she brings to the table. Meaning, again, some of y'all ain't gonna fool with it, and some of y'all from old are. New, well, she'll also gain new followers, right? But something about this particular project, when you see it in reverse, it's kind of like gonna be some, like maybe a delay, you know, in it, in the energy of it. This represents Nikki's energy though, guys. That's why I'm pausing, because I'm like, okay, this is the people here, right? Y'all old, y'all new. You know what the issue is in a project? That's why I said sometimes I need a moment just to be able to take the messages in. Three of Coins in reverse. It's going to be some people who aren't going to be wanting to do features with her on her new project. She going to experience some kickback on, you know, artists that want to help her when as she's working on this project, right? Because it's in reverse. So again, that's why I need a second, because you can see this is the project, this is the new people, this is the older people, and this is her co-workers, the industry. They gonna be like, I ain't fucking with her conservative views. I'm ignoring her. Cause I feel like this bitch is a whole clown for the decision she made. So you got some people, again, Six of Cups, and they feelings. Your past group is feeling away. You got people in the industry who loved you before, and now they looking at you in a different light, and they're not gonna be willing to. So we might see kickback too in who works with her on her new project now, because they feel like they don't agree with her decision. It's the Fool in reverse, right? So this is about people feeling like she a damn fool, and that I can't support that. King of Cups in reverse. Again, that energy. That's opposition too. I'm telling you. She made a decision, guys, to do what she did because she dealing with this opposition that, you know, we can't see. Same energy that Jay-Z had. He came right back up. And, you know, that's an old petty, spiteful motherfucker that do stuff to block your roads just because they ain't fucking with how you handling things. They in their feelings about whichever way things didn't work out and things that went wrong. This is Nikki too. Y'all may see her act out, and because she gonna talk her shit. So be, you know, ready to see her have some more of those, what you call that, her rants, or I'm not sure how you describe it, but we gonna see a lot of that too. Because she gonna get in her feelings about her project and her situation and her supporters. New and old. It's in the messages right here, right? Also look like she's gonna put a lot into this project with the Page of Cups being in the upright. And she's gonna pull energy from new and old. So don't be surprised if you see that too. She gonna go back and she gonna go forward and tie it all in. You got the Devil here, right? It's in reverse. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's like, it's like a weird way of saying, like, it's toxic. It can be, you know, all of the things, but some kind of way it's gonna draw you in some form of fashion, this project, right? Because it's a lot on it. It's a lot of people that feel like, bitch, you done lost your mind. The fool right here, right? But something about this project is still going to draw you in. I'm telling you, it's interesting. And then she got to watch her patterns and addictions. I'm sorry, but the message is here too, Nikki. And this could be causing and amplifying her, having her, breaks. Them allegedly like them mental breaks when she go online and be lashing out and going in, right? That's in the messages as well. And she got to watch her health going forward in 2026. We talking about projects, but projects take that. Because you're putting your energy into it. And you can see the messages, allegedly. I'm not going to say drug abuse. I'm going to just say it could be substances. It could be alcohol. It could be something. It's some things going on, but it's in the messages. For the most part, it's like you got 10 of coins in the upright. But it's interesting that the celebration card is, 3 of Cups is in reverse, right? It's gonna generate the money. And I guess with everybody who has pulled away or pulled back, or people who don't end up fooling with her, she'll still continue to move forward. Ten is solid. You got these last 2 cards, King of Coins and the Moon. And that's the mental clarity, right? The Moon is about what's coming out. It's going to be okay, but she is going to have some opposition on it. But something about it is going to push through. That's why I'm in a pause, because I'm like, okay, if they not celebrating it, but the 10 of Coins is here, it's the energy of, like we saying, some of y'all ain't going to fuck with her, but again, some of you guys are, and it's going to be enough for her to continue to push forward. It's almost like what seems like it's not working gonna work out better for her going forward. These decisions she's made, right? But she still got some stuff she got to tighten up on and buckle down on, right? She may even talk about her in her new album. She may be a little bit more personable with you guys and share some issues that she has had with if any allegedly substances or mental cerebral things that she go through. She may be more open and sharing on this album too. So like I was saying, look forward to how she gonna tie in the elements from past to future, right? But again, it's gonna be a lot of you guys who gonna give her a lot of, she gonna have it, you gonna trash her, y'all gonna be like fuck her, but it's gonna be a group that's gonna be able to move forward and support her. So she's gonna push through. And again, she gonna make her money. The coins continue to stand up. They not coming up in reverse. It's the people, right? So it's enough people in the world that for the ones that walk away, it'll be enough more to make this continuous, her success continue to move forward, right? And again, this is about creating stability, but Moon is about a great reveal. So we're gonna, like I said, it's through and through, things are gonna come out, right? But this project is gonna make the money. It's gonna make the money. Mm-hmm. And the thing is, it's things that are going to gain momentum around it that's going to be like unexpectedly make it, even if it seems like it's negative, it's going to turn around in her favor, the project. Like maybe it may start off in the energy of looking like it won't be good, but it's going to be actually great, you know? So let's hold tight on those messages, right? So that's her project coming up, 2026, right? So family, sorry about that. So I think we asked. So let's ask about Miss Erika Kirk. We had, hour and 30 minutes. Dang, y'all, I love y'all. I'm so sorry. This is Nikki though, but let's ask that energy around Erika Kirk, right? Now let's do it on this one. Do it on her pink print cards. And let's ask about her. Let's ask about Nikki's energy, then we'll ask about Erika, right? Just her current energy. So let's say, about Erika Kirk, Erika Kirk, Erika Kirk. Jesus. Erika Kirk, Erika Kirk. Let's see. I need to see. I want to see. I know y'all want to see, because, honey. So we need to do one on Erika Kirk by herself, and then we'll ask about her and Candace Owens too. I'll try to get that done by the end of the week. I got messages for you guys to come out. We're going to do Cardi and Offsett, so y'all can look for that a little later on today too. It's a couple of them out. It's about 5 or 6. I want to say 17. You'll see. So let me experience it one more time. So, all right. Yeah. The deal with her and Erika Kirk. Okay. Let's see. Nikki Minaj. Nike Spirit. Ciao. Ciao. Nikki. Okay, so we said, how does she feel about Erika Kirk? What is the real deal and the energy with this situation? Is this a, real connection, or this just all, for whatever reasons? And baby, the messages be messages, and don't it? So basically, this is with that 3 of Wands in reverse, it's like it's an alliance and a decision that she had to make with her, but she looking at her like, because the death card is here, right? And the husband did just experience a passing. So Nikki's looking at it like this lady and then it's in reverse, y'all. It's like an energy of clout, doing what she got to do, you know, she feel like she joined with them too. Joined forces with the Turning Point USA. You know, joining with JD Vance, joining with, you know, all of them. She feel like on a level, since they are looked at as the opposition or conservative party, she chose this way, this group to merge with, to form an alliance with, so she can move into a new cycle of her life. She's a Scorpio sun, so the messages are true and true. And it's like transformation for her. Remember, she's experienced the ending. And so now she's headed into a new cycle. So Nikki's viewing her like she did what she has to do to move forward and to get to where she's trying to be in this political party, or whatever her goal is in the party to become, is a part of the, you know, the new White House. Hell, she might be gunning for trying to be that man new wife, because, honey, that was a mess. We got to talk about that. With that hug and the pan behind the thing, she is something else for that. And then the fact that they let that shit keep going on and playing in our face, that's crazy, right? And Nikki don't really fuck with her like that on no whole level, like it's so great. Because eventually they'll experience a conflict. Look, the 5 of Wands is here. What looks like it's good now can go bad, you know? This is a situation of doing what you gotta do. You don't necessarily feel like no type of way. You looking at her like, bitch, you making decisions to move ahead in your own personal agenda for your own personal and selfish reasons, and you just lost your husband, and you own it. And you coming with all the opposition. And she knows that this is the energy that everybody's viewing her as, right? Erika Kirk. And at the end of the day, it's all about the money. Look, Page of Pentacles is here. But then it goes to the 5 of Pentacles. And then you got this 5 of Wands. That's interesting. So at the end of the day, it's for a money situation due to experiencing hardship. Nikki had to make them fucking decisions because of her all the shit she dealing with in her money situation. Because think about it. Every time we keep pulling, it's all about Pentacles. All about Pentacles. And look, the focal point of the card was the 6 of Pentacles. That's about recovery. This girl had to make a financial recovery because her ass is almost at a 5, at a complete loss. This situation is all about money. This ain't got nothing to do with like or pay, or if we cool or anything. This just, I'm doing what I gotta do so I can get back to this and come out of that. It's like strings attached though with this energy when it's in reverse. So this is not genuine, all right? The relationship isn't genuine. We already know that in the messages that is not genuine. And so this is going to come with some opposition down the road. Nikki can experience and will experience, like I said, we saw it in the messages with the losses. But what she lose, she'll also gain, right? So we saw that message, kind of like a juggling phase. You know, some things going to be going out, but it'll still be some things that'll still come in, right? But this is going to end up, I'm telling you, so we can see it in the messages, it'll end up being an issue because it came with strings attached to it, right? Her decision to, you know, make this conservative change. All right. We're going to have to see how that all pans out too, right? Okay, so this almost 2 hours, y'all. Let's get into the messy messages. Let's ask Erika Kirk energy real quick, too. Because we got Nikki. Ain't no, you my best friend, I'm your best friend. It's more like, okay, I met you, and I really see what's going on and how you move, but I'm gonna do what I gotta do. We gonna join forces for the moment. They could clash at some point though. Don't be surprised because Nikki switch it up. No, she'll switch the tide just like she came down here and did that shit today. But see, she being more strategic. In other words, she see her for who she is, but just know she ain't like, they ain't no best friends for real or nothing like that. No. And you know what? A lot of those spiritual cards show that people who keep coming down here talking about how Christian they are in these, you know, groups, they hide behind God so they can push these agendas too. That's also in the messages. So y'all pay attention, okay? That's funny. Ooh. Listen, she ain't shit. Okay. What's her name? Erika Kirk, allegedly. Okay, she is a handful. Look at this, the Lover's card right here. She gonna deal with who she got to deal with. She gonna get with who she got to get with under all by any means necessary, baby. Okay? This is about collaborations and whatever way that she got to come in to do what she got to do. And she's coming in with a energy of pushing out. She has a certain level of confidence that she's exuding when she be up there on her best bullshit with that Turning Point USA stuff. And, you know, she coming in strong. How she did her hand behind that man back head like that, President Vance. This is a mess. And then you got the Three of Pentacles again in reverse. Look, this her doing underhand. She gonna do whatever she got to do. And it's it underhanded, allegedly. And look, all the shady things, third party. Look. Need I say more? In a 3-card spread. Third party energy, if y'all want to know. Between her and old boy too, right? Because this her current energy, Erika Kirk. So allegedly, her and JD Vance could, you know, this is third party interference. To lovers is do what I gotta do by any means necessary. Upside down mean is unconventional and ain't right, and you sneaking. And you doing it all for what? Coin. Oh, child. These messages be through and through, Braun. Look at that Knight of Pentacles in reverse. She better not get caught up. We might hear some shit coming out about Erika Kirk, like some... when it comes to being entangled in some type of relationship situation in 2026, just buckle your seatbelts and just watch and see, because it's in the messages, right? And she gonna do what she gotta do. 10 of Pentacles in the upright for her legacy and her husband's foundation. This is about inheritance. And look, she got some situations on the table too with strings attached. She got the same 6 of Pentacles in reverse. And that's interesting. So that lets you know this is her gonna be her focal point going into 2026. This is her husband foundation. This is her doing everything she gotta do to secure her legacy. And she will be experiencing getting money up under the table, allegedly for things, okay? Because in her mind, she is going to rise to power, to the occasion, And one thing she ain't gonna never not be without is no money. Look at that. And she is securing it under the table by any means necessary, okay? She don't care. She don't care. She got a one-track mind, and her mind is on what she's here to accomplish and achieve, okay? With all the clout included. Because she gonna make a recovery on any loss that she's experienced, okay? And she gonna be receiving money from behind the scenes and allegedly kickbacks. And I'm telling you, look, it's in the messages. But she all about her money, baby. And she's going to continue to push that agenda in her husband's foundation. That's a fact. This will go a little left, so, with them two. So we're going to keep an eye out for that, okay? They may join forces and continue to, push the forms and norms of it all, right? Okay, so we see what's going on with that. Interesting. I think it's been an interesting read, and let's get some messy cards, and we're going to close on up out, okay? So, and any other questions y'all got, make sure, leave them in the comments, too, because we can always come back and revisit, but I wanted to make sure that I answer as many of the questions that y'all had and the energy around what's really going on, possibly, right? So, let's get some messy cards and close out. All right, so let's get some messages. I like to start with these. I hope y'all doing good. So, family, this has been really interesting, too. So, we definitely got to do one on Erika Kirk by herself. But in her current energy, she a handful. It's a lot of people who got something to say about her, too, baby. That bitch right there is something else, baby. It's in the cards, okay? She is there for her clout. She is there for that money. And she is there on the rise. She got an agenda. And she going down. You get what I'm saying? Okay. That's one. Let's get this one. Nikki Minaj. Y'all, this is 1 hour and 46 minutes. This thing finna be 2 hours long. Oh my God. We gotta get the answers though, huh? That's what y'all here for. Ride with me, right? So let's get it. Thank you, Spirit. Okay. Now, last deck. Nikki Minaj. Yep. Let's see what's going on. Nikki. Got a lot of change ahead coming in her life. Lots, right? Thank you, Spirit. shit. Nikki. Okay. Okay. All right. These are messages, so we'll start in no particular order. We just gonna read them before we close out. And again, thank y'all for being here and riding with me. We gonna get to the bottom of this thing, right? It'll be fun. Okay, so on blast, outing personal info, being called out, public humiliation is happening now in real time, right? Or ahead, okay? Hung up, fixated, obsessive attachment, focusing in. Okay, remember I said it was some tendencies in the messages, you know, some toxic energy that she got to work on and, you know, try to work through. Okay, penny pinching, financial struggle, saving up and budgeting. Remember I said financial reasons is a lot of the reasons why Nikki had to make a decision to move forward. You know, one thing about having all that money in order to even secure and keep it, you know, you got to have more money you make, more problems, right? More higher responsibility, more. Dirty money, illegal activities, thievery and laundering. That showed up in the messages too. Didn't I say there was some underhanded things going on we don't know nothing about? But this also could be the energy around, you know, her and Rock Nation, allegedly, okay? Vibe, sensing something, unexplainable feeling, listening to her intuition. The high priestess showed up now. Booty call, beck and call, sexual invitation, all about sex. That's interesting, guys. These cards be messy, don't they? Didn't I say allegedly, Ken and Petty could be doing that, right? I can't make it up. Roller coaster, full of highs and lows, off and on again, hot and cold, okay? Remember I said that could be the energy of, you know, her fans in the bars, okay? Might be on and then it could go off, you know? High roll, unbothered, brushing it off, moving past it. Remember I said that's the energy that she's trying, you know, to move forward and stand in. And cuffing season, single and ready to mingle, ready for a relationship, on the hunt. I said a tower moment with those two possibly in 2026. So look ahead and pay attention, you know. Like I said, it couldn't necessarily be a relationship. It could just be the energy of, you know, him, like I said, was coming up doing other things, right? So we see that in the messages, and that's allegedly. Okay, so we got toxicity, bound, patterns. Remember I said there's some patterns she got to work through. I can't make it up. Some toxic, you know, energy. There's some, you know, habits and situations allegedly that needs to be, you know, that she gonna have to deal with. In fact, be facing that head on going into this, you know, new season we going into. You got memories, nostalgia, okay? So the past does come up. And this could be, again, it's like that Six of Cups. This is her barbs, her fan base, you know, that love her, that, you know, not liking the decision she making at the moment. Integration, union, right? It's her and her husband. They could go through some issues, but look like they'll still, you know, and look, like I said, a baby to me is in the picture. I mean, it's in the energy, rather. A new baby. Fate, detours, divine intervention. Okay, Nikki? Decisions to be made. Of course, we know she got a lot of decisions. Now she made the decision she made now, and the decisions that she got, you know, making going forward for herself and her life, you know. And the thing is, like my mama say, she have a saying, the decisions we make in life are the ones we got to live with, right? So it's about contracts, career, and commitments. Saturn, experiencing challenges in all those areas until depth tear us apart. You see that? And remember, Saturn is the challenges, and that's what she's been experiencing too. But she's taking action, courage, Jupiter, her energy, Sagittarius energy, so she can get to these beginnings. The messages are clear. Wow. Last little bit and we get on up out of here. Nikki. She got that twice. Divine timing, patience required, trust in the process, perfect timing when it's meant to be. Something, like I said, she got that hermit card in her messages. So it's the energy of her going within now. And she's really going through that energy. And there's going to be some situations where divine timing will come in for her when things do seem like they're at the darkest, okay? False alarm, exaggerated panic, unnecessary drama, overreaction to minor events. Much to do about nothing. Remember she said, it makes what it seems is not all what it seems, right? Mirror, mirror. So facing yourself and others, reflective relationships, self-awareness. What you see is you. Mirror, mirror. Hey, Barbs. Work with me. We got to work through this. You see that? On red, ignored messages, waiting anxiously, no replies. Maybe they're just busy. Something on, you look out with them too. They might have a little rift and then they might, tip and might still, go on and work on it. We're going to see. Influencer status, social recognition, online fame, power to influence, swipe up. Remember I said she going to continue to be, she talked about right now. And for those that walk away, she going to have some more to walk towards her too. The juggle effect. Two-faced, says one thing, does another. Betrayal behind kindness, pretends loyalty, trust carefully. That could be the conservative party, allegedly. Unbothered, peace despite chaos, calm attitude, detachment from negativity, not my drama. She working on staying in that energy with a poker face, hiding true feelings, impossible to read, emotionally detached, you'll never know. That's definitely Sagittarius shit. But like I said, there's some things hidden behind the scene, and she trying to figure out a new strategy. Remember, I said that on her last reading. It just came to my mind. I said she coming up with a new strategy on how she gonna move forward. She got to switch it up, trying to come at the powers that be. So this is the decision she's made, guys. Listen, soul contracts, fated connections, karmic relationships, spiritual agreements, destined to meet. There may be an energy of her and this turning point with Erika, because, those messages came up, karmic with the lovers, karmic contracts. This was meant to happen to take her where she needs to go. Because, look, it's interesting. Last card, trusting the signs and following guidance, right? So paying attention to the guidance. Universe speaking clearly, following intuition and messages received. So these things had to happen for her to be able to go here and change, pivot, new direction. So she can turn things around for the better. So we got the messages for Miss Nikki Minaj. I love y'all. I'm so glad y'all here. Y'all, this thing already 2 hours. I'm looking at the close out at 1:56 minutes, and I still got to add the clips in the beginning. So enjoy this. I love y'all. Happy holidays. I hope y'all are getting all y'all gifts and getting everything together. And remember to sound off in the comments, because this is interesting. I want to hear how y'all feel who, really ride with her and they may be disappointed, and some that kind of see what's happening or feel like they know what's happening. And if y'all gonna, cancel her altogether, or are y'all gonna ride the wave. So Miss Mega Minaj has made a decision, and this is where we are. And so we'll look to see the energy around what's ahead. Okay, so I love y'all. I see you guys soon, and in the next one, keep your notification bells on, because I'm definitely gonna do Cardi, Offsett, and Stone.This today. So look for that, as well as I got to do Thug and Mariah, and we got to do Sweeney and all of them. So we're going to do some things. And I think I'm going to even touch on Talio, because my sister asked me to do that. And I don't know much about him, so I'm going to look into that. He's a content creator, being, I think, accused of SA with another young lady. So we'll get into that too. So I love y'all. Enjoy. And make sure y'all tell me what y'all think. And I'll see you guys soon in the next one. Peace and love. Soul family. Thanks for watching The Common Corner Show. Peace and love, Soul family. And I'll see you guys in the next one.